Hey everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Battlefront II video. I'm Dank.
And I'm useful, and...
Hi, I'm Renata Bliss, and I'm your freestyle dance teacher.
Today, we'll be talking about the top 10 players everyone hates in HVV. Now, these aren't necessarily just like the players themselves, but they're the type of players. The players that you just can't stand to see. Sometimes we are these players, sometimes we encounter these players. That we've got them nailed down for you guys to list off here today. Starting out with number 1, Cocaine Luke, the Skooker. What are these Lukes like?
So basically, these Lukes, they get up in your face. They don't let up. They dash around with their rush ability and their dodges, and they're swinging the whole time. They just don't let you do anything. They come out of nowhere. They gank you. They spank you. They have Intensify on, and they kill you. And they run to their next victim.
Yep, they fuck you up, and you can see it right here on the footage. This is Dank playing Luke. He actually plays Luke a lot, and he's pretty fucking good too, especially in Hero Showdown. But the thing about these guys is, Luke is like one of the most powerful characters in the game. He's the fastest character. He's got crazy stamina, crazy damage. I mean, not crazy, but it's up there.
It's crazy when you have Intensify on and you don't die.
Yeah, true that.
Pretty crazy.
And he's got a push. He's got 2 pushes, and he's got his rush, which you can also put like damage reduction on it. So he's like he's just a fierce guy, and it just allows you to play him like a maniac. So the real counters to this are to let him
Daddy chill.
What the hell is even that?
And bring him to his teammates, bring him to your teammates, and wait for his abilities to be down and watch his stamina. And it's gonna be hard to play around this guy. He's just a strong guy.
You have to pay a little bit more attention when dealing with the hyper aggressive Luke. Like Captain said, you have to wait for the cooldowns to be down. Watch the stamina bar. Hopefully someone comes and tries to help you, because these guys put on horse blinders, and when that happens, then they end up tending to die. So yeah, that's hyper aggressive Luke.
But they're not as bad as our number 2 pick. Number 2, Throw Maul or Thrall. I have a particular vendetta against these players because they're the most common type of Maul player there is. They put on the star card, it lets them throw people like way, way further.
You see that right there?
Yeah. And they only they only go for throws off the map because they constantly use dash, and they get behind you. And
they also lack skill and discipline in this game.
Some of them can fight, but most of the time their whole strategy is to throw you off the map. And you truly see how bad they are when you get them on those maps where they can't throw you off.
By the way, this is me playing right now, and I just want to say I'm sorry.
He doesn't normally do this, and I don't play like this either. I don't use the throw card because when you're on those maps and you can't throw them off the edge, you're just doing yourself a disservice by throwing them further than you can dash and go in on them.
You throw them away from your teammates. It's a good disengage when you have the throw card on, but that's not really what you want when you're running cards. So if you're running the throw card, you might as well play like this.
Basically.
I haven't even ever really tried to play Thrall ever. This was like the first time I tried to only get kills with choke throws, and it was astonishingly easy. So
especially on Bespin, it's like notorious for this shit. But in terms of how they play, it's like extremely one-dimensional. It's just they get behind you, they try to throw you, they'll lead you to an area that's open. Same things with like Luke players do this too. But you just got to be careful. You got to keep your block up.
Their little silly games.
Yep, and go in on them if they miss their throw if you block it. And we're going into our next pick here, number 3, Parry Obi-Wan or Oblock Kenobi.
Yay!
My favorite. Go ahead and describe the Oblocks, Kenoblocks.
O-blocks are just as the name implies. They block and they back away. They basically try to act like sponges to distract you from any team fighting, and they only wait for ganks when you really get mad at them. They don't do anything particularly productive, and they heavily rely on teammates to get anything done. So you'll rarely see them swinging and running in. And if they are swinging, they're trying to parry. That's literally just about it. They just spam their force push whenever it's up, and they block, and they dash here and there, but they just don't die, is the thing.
Like the O-block, no blocks, they don't really go in. You know, their thing is like they pull you out. They try to get you on them. Like they try to get you to go all out on them so they can just like parry you. Some of these guys don't even attack, by the way. Some of them just block, attack, parry, you know, which is like the worst kind. That's like the worst you can get. That means you're just going to be waiting it out the whole match. We've had a few of those in some of our other videos, actually.
And basically, just to deal with this, don't engage with them, especially if they're running or they are obviously trying to bait you away from the team fight. Gank your teammates, have a bigger impact somewhere else in the battle, or wait for someone to come and sneak in on the O block.
Again, they're just going to keep their block up. It's not like they're doing anything. So just go for the guys that, you know, aren't using like this sort of particular play style. But the funny thing is, our next pick, our number 4 pick, has a very similar play style. Number 4, Darth Bitch, aka Pussy Vader. So Pussy Vader is very much like O-block, no block in the terms that they just sort of dash back and counter. O-block counters with parries. Pussy Vader counters with abilities, and he counters with his, you know, saber throw and choke. He'll try to choke you off the map. He's a huge pain in the ass to deal with, and it's not really the way Vader should be played, since he's such a monster. He's like one of the most powerful in the game right now.
Vader's probably the number 1 most powerful out of heroes and villains, and with that kind of power, really you should be abusing it, being up in there, getting the kills, starting the team fights. But Pussy Vaders, they play like O-blocks and they still win, is the sad part, if you fall for their tricks.
Yeah, exactly. And they're so tanky, it's extremely hard to, you know, take him down. The solution sucks. It's it's basically the one for O-block, no block. It's to go after his teammates and leave him in the dust while he's just backing up.
The scary part is it's more risky to go after Vader's teammates because he's actually strong. Unlike Obi-Wan a little bit. Obi can be strong, but not like Vader strong. So just take them with a grain of salt, keep an eye on them, but you don't have to kill them if they're not dying. So
yeah, realizing that it's not worth dealing with has helped me so many times. Just like I've been baited by a Vader and I just turn on their teammates and it works out most of the time. So number 5, useless Anakin, aka Anakin. I would say I'm an Anakin main. For the light side, I choose him when I can, and I cannot stand when someone else plays him and is terrible, because he's hands down, he's the best light side hero. I say he's a dark side hero on the light side because of how aggressive he can be with his pull and his ability loop, you know.
And that makes sense, you know, the dark side on the light side.
Yeah,
we all know.
Yeah, and so like a Batakin are the guys who insta-lock Anakin from the get-go, and they don't switch if they suck. They fail to utilize his kit to like completely change the tide of a team fight. For me, the whole thing is getting to the side of the team fight and ganking and just using pulling people out of the team fight and then just catching them in the ability loop. It just fucks the whole thing up for the other team.
So this footage of Captain playing Anakin does not reflect a Batakin at all. This is like actually Goodakin, or Correctakin, however you want to call it. But we all have seen the Anakin that does not let go. From the first frame they get into the lobby, they pick Anakin, and they're garbage. Like dead last place on both sides. And there's not much you can do about it because they're on your team. And if they're on the enemy team, focus them. If you're really trying to win, just kill them over and over.
Yep. And you can choose Luke or some other sort of like, power pick, but Anakin's the most powerful of them. That's why we're making a big deal out of Anakin being bad specifically on your team.
This isn't. Sorry, this isn't a slam on new players. I just want to make that clear. It's someone who is literally just stupid.
Bad. Yeah.
Like goes into a 3v4 a 1v4 and dies in 2 seconds. But.
Yeah. We hate you, Vatican. Number 6. Boba Fett players, aka
Boba.
I hate Boba Fett players. I hate everything about him, and that being said, I am one. Now, okay, I am not a Thai T Boba because I don't play like a huge bitch. Like what we mean by a Thai T Boba is they're like the flying version of Pussy Vader. They back up with jetpack and they're unreachable because they can fly. I mean, that's the bottom line of it.
You basically won't see them not flying.
Yeah, and if they're smart, they can stay away the whole game. Like you literally will never touch them if they're smart. I mean, most are like decently smart and can stay out of range most of the time. But here in the footage, you can see like, I don't know. I like to play Boba Fett a little bit differently than just flying away the whole time. I like to really get in their face. And it looks like I'm flying away here, doesn't it? Well,
but not to the extent like Tai Chi Boba will stand on top of that giant pillar behind you and go to other unreachable places to recharge their jetpack and keep flying. And this is honestly, it's bad in HVV, but it's the worst in Showdown because they can stall out a game for a draw.
Yeah, it's the worst.
They're just so hard to kill, especially in Showdown without the other 3 teammates. That being said, if you are in HVV or Showdown or whatever, you can predict the Boba pick. Chewie is really good to counter a Tai T Boba, as well as the other blasters if you've got a nice shot. If you don't have a nice shot, Finn is a great pick because you can kill 2 Bobas in 1 Deadeye, honestly.
Yep, so. And you can also use Anakin with his pull. He's not the best, but you can pull and kill him with heroic might. So he's like sort of an exception. You can also lead him to an enclosed space to, take away his like flying options, his flying ability or whatever. Because if you lock him down, he can't do anything. He's got his rocket barrage, and he might be able to dash around, but that's about it. So.
I think you actually die soon in this footage from being in an enclosed space, and that's the reason you died. So.
A few minutes ago, I did actually with Anakin.
Isn't it right here?
Oh, is it right here? Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's because you went into the enclosed space. So like, you just have to draw them somewhere else. If you don't fall for it, pick a blaster. That's honestly the only best way.
Yeah, but fuck these guys because these guys are the scum of the game. I hate these guys. I hate how they ask for Boba nerfs or Boba buffs. Actually, we want nerfs. We want nerfs. These guys are scumbags. They're pieces of shit, and we wish they would just die in a hole. That being said, let's go on to our next pick. Number 7. Roll Han.
Holy Poly, aka Roll God Han, dodges all of your abilities, saber strikes, and crowd control, all while managing perfect headshots. You go in on them, and they roll, shoulder charge, detonate, and headshot you until you die. And if you're not dead already, they have all their rolls back. You see a blaster as like a saber hero, for example, and you just want to get on their butt, and you can't because Han has a card that gives him an extra roll for increased cooldown time, which honestly, I don't even feel the difference with the cooldown time. It's worth it. You should run the 3 rolls if you can. But it's just invulnerability. For a long time, you become very squiggly, and if you're accurate, you kill people faster than they can find you even.
Yep, and if you want to counter this, all you got to do is like a little roll catch strategy. Just wait until they're out of the roll. I mean, chances are you'll be able to get 1 hit on them, then they'll roll again. You'll have to do that, unfortunately, but like you will kill them eventually if you time the attacks right and you roll correctly. Like if you look at the footage here, Maul, he's not really like timing anything.
Yeah, I'm about to start rolling around a lot right now.
It's a spam fest. I think you escape Vader and Kylo here.
I
both
do.
Of them. Yep. jump,
Detonite.
roll, detonite.
He
Here
comes on me. He
here it
gets knocked
is.
down. I run away. So
They get distracted by the teammates. Boom.
the
Like-
stronger teammates that can actually handle sabers easier.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all a distraction game, you know. So like Rohans, they're sticky, you know. So number 8, spam Dooku or Spooku. Now Spooku is that Dooku player that will run up to you, no, you know, not blocking. They just run straight towards you, and then sprinting, and they start spamming you down, and they use duelists beforehand, maybe or whatever. But the thing is, Dooku is not weak. He's actually pretty strong, and if he gets those 2 to 3 hits in you, like while spamming, you will die, or at least be very close to dying.
And those 2 to 3 hits can come from you obliviously trying to parry them because they're spamming you. It's kind of intuitive to go for parries when someone is constantly swinging at you. But the sad part is, even if you get in a parry, Dooku's swing speed is so fast, he can get in those 2 to 3 hits. And if you've got exposed weakness and he's got duelists on, you're dying in 2 to 3 hits from the front. So
yeah, and the real way like to play Dooku is to like hit, dash, and like dash around and get their back, and like, you know, it's not just a straight up spam. So what you can do is like you can dash out and catch them with your abilities because they're spamming, they're not blocking. So you can catch them that way. You can disengage and gank him when he moves on to another one
the
of your.
gank is strong against Spooku.
Yeah, so like that's a pretty viable strategy. These guys aren't the best players. They're spammers, so be on the lookout for these guys. Number 9, Rage Finn, aka Funbot. So the Funbot is someone who's like so mad at a Palpatine or a Boba player that they switch to Finn for revenge, and it's a pretty easy cop out for someone who can't really aim with blaster heroes like Han, who would like kill them much faster, or relies pretty much like the point is they pretty much rely exclusively on Deadeye to get the job done. And one use of Deadeye can kill Boba, not even factoring like the star card that makes it stronger. But it's the idea of just rage picking Finn that makes it infuriating.
It's not bad to pull out Finn on these characters if they're being like complete total bitches. This isn't a bash on Finn. It's honestly the way he's meant to be played, but it is very infuriating when you are actually just doing well and out of nowhere pops out a Finn and you start just dying and you can't block because you don't have a saber, and it just kind of is what it is. So
yeah, it's a hard counter shutdown pick. That's what makes it frustrating. So number 10, Bad Phasmas, aka Phasma. Now Phasma is already a questionable playstyle in general, but a Phasmu is the type that stays by the turret and they never move it. So key part of playing Phasma is moving around, changing your positioning to really like enhance team fights and stuff. But these players, they act like a cow and they just stay in the same spot. They never
complacent. They graze on.
They never
foot.
move, and they wait for people to come to them. So like while you're fighting a 3v4 with your 2 other teammates, the Phasmu is waiting like somewhere randomly in the map, waiting
just for anything to happen.
Yeah, for someone to come to them. And there are some like counter strategies here that you can use. You can camp with the Phasmu. That kind of sucks for everyone. You can just
that is, if you're on their team, you can camp with them. You can play their game.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're playing against one, playing against a Phasma is not that bad. This is one of those on your team choices on the list here. So like, if you're playing against them, pull that bitch with Anakin.
Anakin's a hard counter.
Yep, Anakin hard counters. You just ring a ding a dong, all them.
All night long.
And I mean, once you pull Phasma away from Phasma's fucking nothing without her turret. I mean, she's tanky. Don't underestimate her, but she's pretty powerless. I mean, you're just gonna chop her down or like block all the bullets towards her. So
it's honestly just an unhealthy play style for both sides in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can play Phasma so much more fun.
Yeah.
Just different than staying in one spot. And now we have our honorable mentions, starting off with Palpatine. Palpatine, he's just got kind of one way to play. He's got his dash and he's got his range, but he doesn't have a saber that he can block with. It's in his kit to have to dash around, so naturally he's going to have a strong dash. There isn't really a play style to Palpatine. It's just you're either good with him or you're not. And the kind of Palpatine we're referring to is one that you really can't touch. They just don't die. They squiggle away. It's impossible to reach them.
They dodge out. They're just like really good at evading. I mean, that's the only way you can play him. There's no other way to play him. Otherwise, you just die. So that's why he's an honorable mention. Our next honorable mention is Iden. And we're also, we sort of paired Iden and Lando up. He'll be the next one. But for Iden, she's got, she's like Palpatine, where it's just, there's only one way to play her. It's just use alt fire and stun, go for headshots, and it might be super annoying and you might hate the Idens, but this is just how they are.
There's no other way.
You can just you can just expect this from them, like just pick your battles with her. And same thing with Lando here is, I don't think Lando's as good because he doesn't have his alt fire. He's got some other abilities, but all you can do is stun you with his little, stun pellet or grenade or whatever the fuck it is, and go for those headshots. And again, super annoying, but once you get past that,
if they don't even land the stun, if you dodge it, great. They're dead.
He's fucked. All he can do is like throw his shitty little smoke grenade. That BP-9E has like a way better one than Lando even, and like he's way fucking better. Dead. Like he can't even roll 3 times like Han. He's just, once you get past his like one little trick, he's pretty dead. He can maybe outtrade you with his shots, but most of the time, dead. Chewbacca. Chewie's just good. I play a lot of Chewie. He's annoying because like you can break through blocks with his gun. He's unblockable. And that's frustrating for a lot of people. It just is
what it is.
Yeah, it's built into him. Like that's not a play style thing. It's just him. And most Chewies will just play from afar or close. Like it really doesn't matter. He's just a pain in the ass.
Not to mention he's got a stun. He's got an AoE knockback all around him, and his middle ability just increases his DPS. His kit is solid. He's got high HP. Like, is there any other way to play Chewie? Yeah, like you can hate Chewbacca as a character, but this is the play style. There's no picking and choosing. Yeah, like you can't, like it doesn't make sense. Like if you're like stun Chewie, you only go for like stuns with it just like doesn't exist because his gun is so powerful. You're not gonna like play it like that, like you just play like you get from afar, you shoot, if they come close to you, you stun, then you ground pound if you're in danger, and that's it. I mean, like if you can get past all that, he's pretty much dead. Or if you can get him with some abilities, he's still pretty much dead. It was a super nice gank, by the way, in the footage. Thank you. Is this me? I think this is me, right? Yeah. There I am as holy roly over there. This is the we decided to act all these clips out for you, by the way. This isn't how we always play, but we had to get the clips for this video to illustrate the play styles and everything. So thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know down in the comments if you encounter any of these or if you have any that you thought of. Yeah, if we missed any, I'm sure there's a shit ton that we're not thinking of. So thank you and have a great day, you fuckers. Goodbye.